Hi everyone, we're back on the spooky wagon, and this week I'll be working on a sketchbook spread inspired by another one of my favorite Halloween movies, Coraline. Similar to the last spread, I started out by prepping the site where I was planning to do the oil painting with 1 coat of sizing paste and 2 coats of gesso. And I mixed in some raw umber and hence a yellow acrylic paint into the gesso for the second coat to create this sort of greenish tone for it. Not really what I was going for, but I think it works well as an underpainting for this one. While the gesso was drying, I set up to sketch on the right side of the spread, so I guess that's going to be the format for these sketchbook sessions now. And I actually rewatched Coraline last week because I wanted to hunt for some ideas for this spread, and because why not? It's such a beautiful film and it's absolutely perfect for the season. Every time I think about Coraline being a stop-motion film, my mind is just blown from how much work was put into making it. It's full of these crazy details, and the way things move and live inside it is just absolutely fascinating. Now, before I dive too deep into my thoughts about this film, I want to talk about the drawing process a little bit. Let me tell you, this spread just wouldn't come together. The sketches alone took me like 4 hours, as opposed to maybe an hour last time. And don't get me started on this hand. I erased it probably 10 times before I had something that I was somewhat content with. By the way, maybe it's just me, but when I was drawing Baldam's hand, I realized that it really seemed to be made of needles connected together to form these spider-like claws. Which is kind of cool considering that the other mother stitches these dolls and supposedly the whole world behind the little door. It was very difficult to choose what I wanted to draw and how I wanted to arrange my composition on the page, if you can call it that. I tried not to make it too random and decided to connect the ghost children with the hands to show that they have been trapped by Baldam. I also included the other mother from the scene where she threatens Wybie for his long face, and I kind of regret doing that because she looks way too innocent here, but I guess I'll have to live with that. I felt like I had to draw her because I decided on a scene that doesn't include her for the oil painting on the other side of the spread. Oh, that thread. You'll see it, but I changed the color at least 4 times, and I think my gold watercolor would have worked very well for it. But I couldn't find it for some reason, so instead I used some gold gouache, which was too dark. And then when I added some blue elements to the sketches, and I'm sorry, but I couldn't not make Coraline's hair blue. It would have been a crime. So I whipped out my Derwent matte watercolors and painted it blue. And it was also too dark for some reason. And then I painted over it with some golden acrylic paint, which was way too yellow. And so in the end, I added a thin line with white acrylic paint and finally left it alone. It ended up looking a little uneven and organic, so I'm pretty happy with it at the end of the day. And that brings me to the painting. I wanted to make the painting dry faster, so I mixed up some liquid with chalk and then added it to my titanium white. The painting ended up looking a little dark though, so on second thought I should have added it into my darker colors too. You can see why I'm running out of raw umber. I really need to get a bigger tube. I quickly sketched out the main shapes using some thinned out paint. And I think this time I just used water as a paint thinner because I really need to get a new paint thinner for my water mixable oil paints. And I think they have a Cobra paint thinner in stock at my local art supply store, so I might have to pay them a visit. I chose a scene where Coraline is hunting for the eyes of the ghost children and she is confronted by Mr. Bobinski and his mice circus in the other world, and he literally falls apart into a swarm of rats. And to me personally, that's one of the most disturbing scenes in the whole film. It's just so uncanny, and the voice of this creature just gives me shivers. The main feeling I had after I rewatched Coraline was this acute nostalgia about being a child. I think this film really captures that sense of adventure and curiosity that we all have as kids, when anything is possible and even one house can become a vast and mysterious world just waiting to be explored. I'd read the book in the past and I really like Neil Gaiman's imaginative worlds, with American Gods probably being in my top 5. So for anyone who likes Coraline, I'd also highly recommend checking out The Ocean at the End of the Lane. It has this very similar warm-hearted vibe and child protagonists fighting an evil spirit kind of plot. This painting also took me over 3 hours in total, which is quite long for such a small piece, but it was full of interesting details which I just couldn't let go of. And it was fun working on the rats and the decorations, and I might have gone a little crazy. And this is the final result. This one was tricky and it took a lot longer than expected, so I'm sorry that this video took a bit longer to come out, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Let me know what you think, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the next spread. Actually, at the time of making this video, I'm almost at 500 subscribers, which is just mind-blowing, so welcome aboard everyone. And yeah, don't miss the next video. I'll see you there. Bye.